Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain yet. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so let's just get right to it. How have you been?
I'm pretty good, hanging in there as I'm sure everyone else is. Just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, did you move back home?
Not moved. I just came back. I'm here for 2 weeks in Kansas, but I'll be going back to Chicago on Sunday.
Okay. Does that concern you?
Well, no, I mean, I'll be renting a car,
Oh,
so,
nice.
like, just travel-wise, like, I'm taking as many precautions as I can. And I just didn't want my family having to drive me back because there's no need to put everyone at unnecessary risk when
Absolutely.
traveling.
Yeah. How bad, not bad, it's not a good word. How much precaution is Kansas going through right now? Are they shut down?
They are in shelter in place, like Chicago right now.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it's pretty much the same. Just like everybody stay home. They're trying to shut down all the parks too, so
Hmm.
that because the bummer is that when it's like nice outside, everyone wants to go to the parks, but then it kind of creates an issue with too many people there. So
Yeah, right. What have you been doing to keep yourself busy at least?
I've just been trying to kind of keep a schedule going,
Yeah.
especially with school not starting until this week. It's just been, I think for the first 2 weeks, I was kind of in like a limbo period where I was like, I don't really know what to do.
Hmm.
Um, and then I came to Kansas last weekend, and since my brother's doing school online and my stepdad's working from home, like we all kind of fell into a more structure based day with working and stuff. So kind of just having myself work on like schoolwork ahead of time, just reading a lot, but mostly just trying to give myself the discipline of like, this is the time that I work on schoolwork. This is the time I have lunch so that it's not just like laying around kind of waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, good on you. I'm this. I know I'm very finally glad that we get to go back or start school at least because I
Yeah.
can't. I need a schedule back in my life. I can't go back to just sleeping in till 11 every day. And
I know. It's crazy, like, just how much, like, just your sleep schedule changes.
oh
Because
god,
it's like, oh, I don't have to get up for a 10:30 class, so why
yeah,
should I get up at all?
yeah. Are a lot of your classes? Are you doing a lot of Zoom meetings or is it just whenever you want to do the work?
No, I mean, most of them, it seems, are trying to do Zoom meetings at every single class time.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a pretty strict schedule with that.
Nice. My first class of the day, it doesn't. I don't have a Zoom meeting. That's why. So it's like it's a 9 a.m. gender and culture class, but the teacher's like, nope, just do the work when you feel like it. So
Yeah,
I'm back to
honestly, for seniors, I feel like that might have been the better course of action because I know that a lot of us have kind of lost the motivation for
yeah,
the strict schedule.
yeah. Well, let's get right to it. How do you feel about graduation right now?
I'm pretty bummed.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, for most of us, it's like it's a really big deal because a lot of people graduate high school, but not as many people graduate from college, and so it's a pretty big milestone. And um, particularly for like a lot of us who moved away from home to go to school.
mhm,
Like, I think having your family come and like see the ceremony is like it was a pretty big deal to me. So I'm pretty upset about it being canceled.
mhm.
And it kind of just like it had a sort of a milestone marker for then like all of us being like, okay, now we got to like start the rest of our life, and now it just feels like we got to kind of do that on our own.
Yeah. Do you feel ready to graduate, or did you feel like you had a lot more to learn or to give before this happened?
I definitely feel like I had a lot more, and even if it wasn't to learn, just a lot more to like spend time with those people
Yeah.
in classes. Like, it feels weird that there's not gonna be an organized time to like say goodbye to everybody because a lot of people move. A lot of people have already moved because they got kicked out of the dorms.
Yeah.
Um, it's just kind of a really, like, you kind of want to go out with a bang your senior year, and it feels like we're all kind of going out with a slow sizzle.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that they announced or they're looking at possibly moving our graduation to next year. And I don't necessarily like the idea. I'm curious to see what you have to say. I just think, why am I waiting? Again, if anything, if you're not going to have a graduation, just give me my diploma now.
Exactly.
Yeah, like why am I going to wait a year? Do I
Yeah,
do I care?
honestly.
Do I care?
Seriously, that's the thing is I don't think in a year I'll care about it anymore.
No.
Like, I'd rather they just give me, like, my degree and a refund for
Yeah.
the graduation fees, and then I'll move on my merry way.
Yeah. I'm curious now. Were you planning to stay in Chicago after you graduate?
I am, yes. Well, for the most part. Like, there's been some things, like, I'm looking at an apprenticeship in Kentucky, and just, like, like, Chicago's kind of home base,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to move wherever if a job comes up. Um, but yeah, Chicago's kind of the place I'd like to stay for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's your family reacting to all this?
They're good. I mean, there's kind of like my mom's really worried about me being in Chicago and
Yeah.
would rather me be here, but also just like, all my stuff is in Chicago. I would like to be in my home and everything. And I don't think there's much of a difference between me sitting inside here and me sitting inside there. So
Not really. I mean,
yeah.
better Wi-Fi, I guess. You have your I don't know. Um, we met long ago, many moons ago,
Yes.
many Meg Falcons ago during her intro to auditioning class. In a way, our storyline almost feels bittersweet. We met during her class and we ended during her class.
I know. It was a beautiful full circle.
I know, so who knows the next time I'm going to see you, but if it had to end it with Meg Falcon, then by God, it had to end with Meg Falcon.
I know. It was a pretty good end.
Yeah, have you heard from her about like grades wise and all?
I have not heard anything from her, but I figured, one, I know Meg always has so much on her plate.
Yeah.
And then also, I figured just with all the going online stuff, it probably just kind of slipped her mind.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're in the BFA program.
Yes.
So I don't know much about it because I'm not in it. But what are the BFAs going through right now because of this whole transition? Anything?
Well, kind of, because
Okay.
our, like, final, like, thesis, or whatever you want to call it, like, we basically devise a show.
Okay.
And that's the entirety of our last semester, is devising a show to put on. And it's kind of this final, like, showcase of us as an ensemble, because most of us have been together in an ensemble for all 4 years, or at least 3 of the years.
Mhm.
And some of us went abroad together, so, like, a lot of the BFA acting wise is, like, based on our ensemble. And so we were supposed to be devising a show, which online is a little tricky to do.
Kind of, yeah.
So right now the plan, there's been a lot of motivation lost on it, because even if we do devise a show on, like, over Zoom meetings, there's a very small, like, possibility that we would ever get to put it on.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are just struggling with the motivation to, like, put so much work into making a show
Mhm.
when we wouldn't get to do it. But, like, a couple of us are kind of getting organized and ready to go, and we're, like, some of us are very committed to doing it, others are a little more wary of it, which is totally understandable. But
Yeah.
I think the plan is to still try and devise a show over, like, online meetings, and then randomly, if we ever get, if all this craziness kind of lightens up, if we ever get a space to then come together, rehearse for one day, and put on a show.
Hmm. How far along were you guys in the process before this happened?
I mean, I would say pretty far, in the sense that we had, like, the bulk of our content.
Okay.
that we were, but we hadn't, and we like named the show, but we hadn't put together an order or like anything like that. Like it was still pretty fresh in the process,
Mhm.
but we had put a lot of work into creating the content.
Okay, so you were talking, and the whole time I thought of a title. I think you should call it Bubble.
Yeah.
I
No, I don't think that's bad.
I hear me out. I think your class, your little ensemble, they're trapped in the bubble of their own
Hmm.
art, and like everyone else, we're trapped in the bubble of our own little isolation. I can see it. I now I want to see this. I think you should talk to the director of whoever's in charge of this. Let's call it
Oh,
Bubble.
it's Brian Shaw. So,
Shout out. He's going to be on the show, actually.
oh, is he really? That's
He,
awesome.
he's going to be on the show on Tuesday. So look forward to that.
I will.
Yeah, we'll see what we'll see what happens. Who knows? Um, so anyway, so have you done many devising before this happened?
Yeah, I've done loads of devising. Just because one of my like main focuses over the past 4 years have been movement.
Okay.
And so I've trained a lot in movement. I did an independent study with Julianne Graham at Columbia.
Oh, cool.
So I like worked as her TA. And what was like it was based around kind of my own devised movement work. And then also like a lot of the shows that I've been in were devised. So
I remember. I remember one of those. Don't worry, I was there.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Remind me, it was a John Green production. Uh,
Which one?
no,
Was it
not the
the
birds.
first? Oh, was it Come Unto These Yellow Sands?
Yes, that
That
was the
one?
show.
Yeah.
Oh, with a very special person in the show who we won't say. Um,
No, I know. Yeah. No, it was, and yeah, that was probably my first experience devising at Columbia.
mm,
And I've done a lot of devising work with John Green, and so it's kind of just blossomed from there.
yeah.
Lots of devising.
Do you want to do more devising? You think when this is over, when you graduate?
I would definitely like to keep it in my skills of things that I do. I mean, I feel like I did so much of it at Columbia that I would like to kind of branch out.
Hmm.
But then also there's just something really awesome about like getting together with an ensemble and putting together a show and then looking at it and being like, well, we put that together.
Hmm.
Um, Especially when it comes like from no script whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, and I'm curious, as someone who has not done many devising before, what do you bring as an artist to a devising piece? Is it more movement based? Is it more text based? Or is it more all the above?
Probably definitely movement.
Hmm.
Especially starting out, I think that because I was a dancer for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
So when I came to Columbia, I was kind of transitioning from dancer to like actor performer.
Hmm.
And so the nice thing about working with John was that he wanted some people heavily trained in movement.
Hmm.
And so that was definitely like what I think that I brought to the group was a lot of movement training. And so that's probably what I bring heavily just in like the devising process, because I wouldn't say that writing text is my strongest suit.
Yeah. So, I need to ask because I've asked a lot of people this. So, in your free time, I know you're probably watching TV, correct?
Not as much as I thought I would be, actually.
Ooh, okay. No, no, no judging. But if you were, would you be
Hmm.
watching more Disney or this Tiger King show that apparently?
I will not watch Tiger King.
Why not?
It just like I know it will upset me, and just even when like you're scrolling through Netflix and um like Netflix just like automatically starts playing trailers even
Hmm.
though you don't want it to.
Yeah.
And so every time I hear the Tiger King come up, it just like oh it repulses me. I do not want to watch it. So yeah, I've watched plenty of Disney.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Is it the form? Is it just the premise of the show that you don't like, or is it the usage of of tigers that you don't like? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't really want to watch like the animal cruelty that is involved with that. I think
Okay.
it's unnecessary. I'm sure there is like, I don't know, just that type of TV show. I'm kind of like, why
Yeah. So
is this a
so
thing?
instead of Tiger King, you're watching like Jungle Book with your favorite kind of tigers, correct?
Correct,
There we go.
100%.
There we go. Shout out Disney Plus. They're fantastic. Carson, knowing you, I think you're gonna like this. Do you want to do a game?
Sure.
Okay, since I know you've been listening to my other podcast, every episode, live, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Are Your Parents Proud of You? We do a game at the end called
Okay.
Time for Two. And it is
All right.
2 minutes on the clock, and it's a series of random icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. What is in your fridge right now?
Well, it's technically my mother's fridge, so like a lot of fruit.
Uh,
Yeah, and soy milk.
Nice. What makes someone a hero?
Their empathy for others.
Ooh, what's something that you tried that you will never try again?
Haggis. It's a Scottish dish that's made up of all the parts of a sheep.
Nice. Not nice. Do you have tattoos?
I do. I have 2.
Nice. What's the best way to spend a rainy afternoon?
Either reading or taking a nap.
Do you play any instruments?
I do not know.
Okay. Is a DJ just someone who's good at iTunes?
Yes.
What is your typical bedtime?
Typical, probably like 1 o'clock, but yeah, 1 o'clock.
Favorite weather of choice?
Like when it's warm outside and it's just like lightly rained.
Ooh, nice. What Disney film best describes your life?
That describes my life?
Yes.
Ooh. Inside Out.
Oh, that's a good one. Emoji of choice.
I don't really use emojis, but I guess one of the monkeys.
Oh, great. If you had the chance to change your fate, would you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Worst job you've had?
Worst job? Oh God, probably working as a hostess at a restaurant.
Ooh, there you go. See, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Disney film, that's a tough one, so.
Yeah, like to describe your life, that's hard.
Yeah, mine is Rescuers Down Under.
That's really specific.
Well, because I am tiny, I'm small but mighty, but my obsession with the Wiggles makes me just a little Australian, I think. So that's why.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My final question to you, and this is the start of a series of Columbia-based episodes. So every episode is going to have someone from Columbia on it. But if you had to talk to President Kim, and what would you say to him about graduation?
I'd probably just be like, here's my direct deposit information when you want to give me that refund.
That was the answer I knew I was going to expect from you. So that was perfect. Carson, my friend, I can't imagine a better person I want to talk to right now during this pandemic. So thank you for
Too sweet.
Thank you for letting me call and you taking some time to talk.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. And of course, if you need anything, let me know and I will drive it and then drop it off 6 feet away from you.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, thanks again for listening to this episode of You Have a Minute, a daily isolated podcast. My thanks to Carson Schroeder for letting me call and for her taking some time to talk to me. If you heard, we met many moons ago during a auditioning class, and then the last time I saw her actually was for a professional auditioning class. So, full circle, a very talented actress, a very sweet person, and a big Disney buff. In case you don't know that, loves Disney, so that's how we got along. Yeah, and I wish her nothing but the best. Just like you guys, stay safe, wash your hands, isolate yourself when needed, let others have the mask who need it the most, and stay inside. Thank you again. Stay safe, all.